My work has been stolen and scraped and used to train Midjourney. And I am super pissed about it. And I'm trying my best not to spend this entire time just shouting at Kuga Mike, because Kamen Rider Kuga is the best and does not deserve to be yelled at. But I'm really mad. Like, if you want a sense of what it feels like inside, turn this video up way past 10 and you'll get a sense of the rage that is simmering within me, that I'm doing my best not to like barf out all over here. The sick thing about all of this is that when I first heard about the list, when my friends first alerted me that my name was on this list, I was kind of flattered. Like, you know, when are you ever gonna see my name next to the likes of Yoshitaka Amano and freaking Go Nagai? But then I came back to my senses. I like to deflect pain with humor. There are two parts of this that really anger me. Obviously, the money portion, that's pretty obvious. But then the second part is the lack of agency. My lack of agency in all of this feeling of helplessness. So I'll get to that in a bit, but first we'll tackle the easy stuff, the money. The money aspect makes a little bit more sense when you switch industries to like the music industry. So if you wanted to sample an older song or a current song and you wanted to use that for your hook, or just like a line in there that you like and you think you can do your own little riff, you got to pay for that. Record companies got great lawyers. They want their piece of the pie. If you take a drum hit from a record and use that on your record, you got to pay for that. That's why they have sample packs and all this other stuff. Like, money is going to be made, and if you are using other people's stuff, you got to pay for it. It makes so much sense in the music industry. Why is it any different for us? Why does Midjourney get away with all of this shit without asking our permission or compensating us for what they're doing? I mean, I know why. It's because we don't have record labels fighting for us and that kind of thing. The biggest player in the sandbox, Disney, has been kind of hands off on all of this shit, which makes me think that they're trying to see how far people can get away with this stuff, because they're planning on using this in their future projects. And that's kind of an insidious conspiracy thought that I have, and I won't get into that anymore. But we've already seen it with the whole secret invasion bullshit, so the fact that Disney hasn't weighed in on this kind of scares me a little. Our work has value. It's worth something. I mean, obviously it's worth something. They couldn't build their fucking system without our work. And I feel like we deserve some kind of compensation. I don't think that's an unfair ask. But the thing that really stabs my soul is that all of this shit, all of our work was scraped without our knowledge or permission. The lack of agency, it just makes you feel helpless. In some ways, being a modern artist already feels like a trap. Like, we have to put so much of our stuff online for free, where it's vulnerable to people just taking it and reselling it, because we need people to see our stuff in the hopes that they'll buy something from us or commission a thing from us, or maybe like an editor will randomly come across a piece that we've done and say, oh, I really like that. I need to hire this person for something. Or an art buyer will see something that we've done and they'll say, oh, this is great. This is perfect for my project. And they'll reach out and contact us, because, you know, nobody sends postcards anymore. Postcards don't work. All of the places that we put our artwork up are falling the fuck apart. Instagram, like, what the hell are they doing? I've already talked about ArtStation, DeviantArt, that's no better. Flickr, where's Flickr? Maybe there are some artists who are leveraging Snapchat, which would be great, but like, all of these platforms that we use to post our stuff to gain any traction or notice are just kind of, they're going through a weird transition right now as well. So it already feels bad. Everything is already broken. And now pile on Midjourney, pile on generative AI, and to have your work stolen to build these things, it just feels like a stab in the heart. And it's not like I don't have free stuff out for people to enjoy anyway. Like, I come from a webcomic background, and the model is pretty straightforward. You put your stories up online, and people can read them for free, and they pay you, quote unquote, with their attention. So maybe you run ads on the site anytime somebody sees it or clicks over to buy a thing. Maybe you get a commission on that. Or maybe if they're clicking through the page and a bunch of ads are served, maybe you get like a percent of a percent of a percent of a percent of a cent for each time their eyeballs pass an ad. Or maybe you sell merch on the side, but the content, the comics, the stories, that's all free. You know, if you don't want to pay anything monetarily, you don't have to. A bunch of artists put up tutorials for free in so many various places. Just here on YouTube itself, you can get a full advanced art education just by watching YouTube. That's all for free. You don't have to pay anything. Like, where's the gatekeeping? Sometimes I hear AI proponents say that this technology democratizes art. Motherfucker, it's already democratized. If you want to learn how to do the thing, chances are your favorite artist has a tutorial either here on YouTube or some other place, or like in the Wayback Machine before any of this stuff was video. They probably wrote a whole series of tutorials on their website because artists love other artists to make stuff. Because making art, making comics, doing all this stuff is very solitary. So we want to share the misery. I feel angry. I feel bummed as hell. I feel like I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Inevitably, whenever any of us brings up AI and how it damages us as artists, someone will pop up and say, "Well, adapt or die. Adapt or die." Adapt to fucking what? Artists aren't going to get whatever jobs generative AI take. Those aren't jobs for us. Do you know why Canva is so fucking popular? Because it allows non-designers to make something that looks pretty good. Canva allows people in marketing to bypass designers. Marketers don't have to hire designers anymore. Marketers don't have to learn about color theory or any of this bullshit. They can just fire up Canva, off they go. They have a marketing campaign that's good enough. A designer who learns Canva, that's not going to be helpful because they're not marketers. The marketer is getting that job. The interns are getting that job. Designers are expensive. Real design is very expensive. It's worth it. But they're not getting those gigs. Same thing with us, with artists. It's the people in marketing that are going to get the AI jobs. They're the ones who are going to be using Midjourney or DALL-E or fucking Adobe Firefly. Thanks a lot, Adobe. By the way, what the fuck? People in marketing, people in sales, they're getting those jobs. Interns, they're going to be messing around with this stuff all over. They don't care if the proportions are wonky. They don't care if there's like 1,000 different light sources that don't add up. They don't care that the thumb maybe doesn't hold the sword that way. None of those people care. They're going to be able to dump out images that are good enough. Adapt to what? I'm not a marketer. I'm not into marketing. I can't do it. Obviously, I'd be further along in my career if I knew how to sell better. Obvi. You know, business majors are going to take these jobs. I didn't go to school for business. I went to school for, you know, this shit. I think it's a little bit more complicated than just adapt or die. Marketers, branding people, all of those people, they're just going to gut the visual department altogether. And then what? Doesn't help an artist to learn how to type words and then sift through 500 things that almost get to what they were looking for. Come on, man. So I don't know what to do other than keep on making stuff, because I love to make stuff. I think that's the confusing part of all this generative AI stuff. It's the doing that's the point. It's the making the things. It's the happy accidents that occur when you're half asleep at your table and you didn't mean to, you know, lean this way, and all of a sudden there's a line that looks kind of cool. It's drawing little doodles on napkins and receipts and having those ideas to bring them home and then make them into something else. Like the process, that's the fun shit. And if you don't like the process, find somebody who does. There are so many artists who will make you a thing. If you don't like the process, commission somebody. I guarantee you, someone out there will love to draw whatever thing you're thinking of. And if you're thinking of some weird, wild, fucked up shit, you might have to pay a little bit more, but someone out there will draw you that weird, wild, fucked up shit. I mean, art is about connection. Art is about expression. Art is about taking something inside and barfing it up for everyone to see and to connect with and to come up with their own stories and to ingest it in their own way and interpret it their own way and have it floating around in their head in their own way. You know, I mean, that's the cool part about art. That's what's missing in all of this stuff. The process, the fun, the connection, all that stuff. I don't know. I'm rambling now. So this was a horrible way to kick off the new year. I've reached out to the law firm that is representing the big class action lawsuit against Midjourney. We'll see if, you know, I'm worthy of response. There are 16,000 people on that new list, so I want to try to end on a positive note. I'm going to keep making stuff. I hope you keep making stuff. If you're feeling bummed about generative AI, I am too, man. I am too. But we just have to keep going. If we really care about connecting with other people through our work, that will come through. That will cut through all of the samey stuff that's being produced now. And someone out there that you haven't met before needs your stuff, needs your piece, needs to see what you can make. And you may never meet that person, and they may never have the courage to message you and say, hey, you know, this piece that you did, that really affected me. But they're out there. They're out there. No matter what skill level you think you are at, someone out there needs to see your work. So I'm going to take that spirit with me as we go and try to navigate this newish normal. I would like to have faith in the courts, but I mean, come on. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Oh yes, and make some fun Steamboat Willie comics now, because that little fucker is public domain. So have at him. I'm gonna stop rambling and see if I can cut all this together. What do you think about Kamen Rider Kuga microphone? Should I keep it, or should I go back to like this dumb thing? All right, make something. Someone out there will appreciate it. You know how you feel when you find a piece of artwork that just kind of pow. You're that for someone. You just, you know, you don't know it yet. So make something cool and share it.